Georgia Public Broadcasting presents the 2005 Georgia High School Association's football semifinals. Funding for this program is provided in part by Georgia's Electric Membership Corporations, Wachovia, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 613, Atlanta, Georgia's Dodge Dealers, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and by viewers like you. Live from the Georgia Dome, it's the GHSA Single A football semifinal featuring the Lincoln County Red Devils and the Johnson County Trojans. Big crowd on hand. The winner advances to the state football championship next weekend. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Jim Ginocchio along with DJ Jones. We've got a big one between the Trojans and the Red Devils, DJ. Of course, you know, Lincoln County comes in not real flashy, but a lot of speed, led by quarterback Brandon Barton.
Brandon Barton is indeed a joy to watch. He is a converted quarterback. He used to play tight end, 6'5", big kid, and he does an excellent job of running this double wing offense. And of course, he's had an opportunity to have over 500 yards on the ground rushing to go along with 769 yards passing. So he's a talent.
On the other side of the ball, linebacker Keith Crite leads the way, number 59.
And he's leading the 50 defense, good size, and he can run. And they only give up 14 points per game, and that's Crite has a lot to do with that.
And earlier we talked to head coach Larry Campbell as to what we can expect from the Red Devils.
Well, we got a big young quarterback who's about 6'4", and he's basically a run and pass quarterback. He helped us instill a new offense that we've been experimenting with. Had a lot of fun with it. It can be four wide sometimes, or still it's always one back in the backfield. Our quarterback got hurt during camp and messed his knee up and had surgery, so we had to take a 6'4" wide receiver and make a quarterback out of him. He doesn't like it, but he's done very well for us. We've been very successful with the run, more so than the passing game, even though we're in a one-back set. Defensively, we're in the same thing we've ran for 30 years. We're in a 5-2 defense most of the time. People that spread us out, we'll try to get in what we call a cover two.
Georgia's all-time winningest coach, Larry Campbell. Now, on the other side of the ball, Johnson County, another great offensive explosion by this team this year, led by number 15, Cordell Johnson.
Cordell Johnson is the catalyst in this offense. He accounts for 50% of the Trojans' offense. Of course, 1,100 yards passing to go along with nearly 500 yards rushing. And this is an exciting quarterback, and we look for him to do some big things today.
Defensively, led by linebacker Rictavius Prosser.
Rick Prosser is a bit undersized, but he's quick. And he's another one of those headhunters, and he has to have a good day in order for the Trojans to keep the Red Devils out of the end zone.
And earlier we had a chance to catch up with head coach Bill Bonds and what his game plan is for the Trojans.
Offensively, we're based out of I. We do give you multiple looks. I guess philosophy-wise, more formations, the better. We're probably a 60-40 run football team. Not afraid to throw the ball on any down, and got a lot of good skilled kids, so using our speed is important. Defensively, we're in a 50. We're upfield defensive football team, and utilizing again because we don't have a lot of size, a lot of speed, just trying to get a lot of kids to the football.
In a nutshell, this should be a good one.
It should be a good one. Johnson County hadn't been here before. On the other hand, Lincoln County has been down this road before, so I think that it's going to be a very good ball game.
All right, our third member of our broadcast team is on the sidelines, John O'Brien. John.
Hey, thanks, guys. Just to reiterate what you were saying, excuse me. Oh, guys, just to reiterate what you guys were saying, no shortage of great coaching here. Larry Campbell, the winningest coach in Georgia history, and Bill Bonds, the 81-37 in his 13 years as head coach. But this is a big-time game, and you need big-time players. Let's talk about the quarterbacks for both teams. Cordell Johnson and Brandon Barden have over 1,000 yards rushing combined and 22 touchdowns. So the rushing game is going to be very important here. Also, this AstroTurf, this is the first game for Lincoln County on the AstroTurf. But for Johnson County, they went up to the University of Georgia on Tuesday to practice, but still their first game on the turf. Guys?
All right, the football single A semi-football final is next. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. It's like our second home. There you have it, DJ Jones. Going to be a great football game.
It is going to be a great football game. But again, coming into the building, as I saw the Johnson County football team, they were looking around as if they were in awe of this game. Hopefully they can overcome that and bear down and play some football.
There you see the Red Devils taking the field here at the Georgia Dome for the 7th time in the last 9 years. They've made it here to the football semifinals here in downtown Atlanta. Still waiting for the Johnson County Trojans to take the field. And of course, for the Trojans, DJ, this is their first trip to the Dome to play here in the semifinals.
It is, and like I said before, coming into the building, everybody's looking around and everybody's in awe of this beautiful facility. And again, if that doesn't, if they could come down from that high of what's going on around them and settle down and play their game, we certainly can have a great football game.
There you see on the regular season, Lincoln County's numbers: rushing yards, 2,766 yards, passing not as many, but look at the rushing touchdowns.
Absolutely, and this team is, I tell you what, they went to a new offense this year. Normally, they've been in the wishbone and the I formation for many of the years that Coach Campbell had been at Lincoln, but in the double wing this year, so it'll be interesting to see how much yardage they eat up today.
Okay, there's you see Coach Larry Campbell. 34 seasons. There's the road to the Georgia Dome. They defeated Jefferson 27-7, Gordon Lee, and Twiggs County, of course, they shut out 22-0. Defense showed up in that quarterfinal.
This might be the best year in his career, according to Coach Campbell, because he didn't expect to be here today. He had a lot of young players and not a lot of returning guys, but again, the job they've done after losing the first 3 ball games to end up here has just been sensational.
And there you see Johnson County and their regular season stats on the year. Rushing yards over 2,000, passing yards 1,300, and a little bit more balance here on this side.
And that's that's definitely Cordell Johnson. He's the guy that he makes this thing go. He's an eye tailback. He's actually an eye quarterback, running the option, and he can throw very well.
And there you see Johnson County's road to the Dome, beating ECI, Seminole County, and Bremen 17-14 in a tight one in the quarterfinals. Spencer Hartley is to kick the ball off for Johnson County. Darrell Norman back deep to receive for Lincoln County as we get set for the single A football semifinal between Lincoln County and Johnson County. And we have the kickoff. It's a short kick taken at the 34-yard line and brought down at the 40-yard line is number 50, Trey Morris.
Interesting strategy there for the coach to give the pooch kick early on to give Lincoln this great field position in the early goings.
Brandon Barden in the offense comes on the field. There you see his numbers on the year: 38 of 97, 769 yards, 7 touchdowns, but 6 INTs.
Remember, this is the guy that was playing wide receiver. Had no idea that he'd be playing quarterback this year, but has done an excellent job in leading the Red Devils.
And it's 1st and 10 for the Red Devils at their own 40-yard line as we get set. First offensive play from scrimmage here at the Dome, and it's a pitch, and now a double reverse, and the ball handed to Ronte Norman, and Norman gets to about the 44-yard line. Good play and a good start for Lincoln County.
Well, certainly Coach Campbell starting out exciting there, a little misdirection there, get the sweep going one way and out of the double wing and reversing field.
And there's your offensive lineup: the Biles, Rhodes, Lee, McGill, and Morris on the offensive line. And then in the backfield, it's Jennings, Norman, both 2 Normans, Bradford and Jones at the tight end position. 2nd down and 6 for the Red Devils. And the handoff goes to number 2, Shontavious Jennings. And Jennings has enough for a first down. He gets into Johnson County territory. And the ball will be marked at the 44-yard line, stopped by number 53, McCarless King. Here's how Johnson County lines up defensively. It's Whitley, King, Martin, Lindsay, and DeVero up front. The linebackers, Jefferson, Prosser, and Rawlings. Back deep is Linder, Murray, and Whitley. So
Nice.
it's a 1st and 10 for Lincoln County.
Nice job so far up front by the offensive line for the Red Devils.
Handoff up the middle. It's Shontavius Jennings getting the call again. And he picks up about 4 yards to the 40. It'll be a 2nd and 6.
Looks like the Red Devils are definitely trying to establish the tempo here, going right at the heart of the defense of the Trojans.
There you see Jennings' numbers on the year, 447 total yards. He's averaging 6 yards a carry, DJ, and 8 touchdowns.
Indeed.
2nd and 6 for the Red Devils. Good shot of Brandon Barton, the quarterback. Man in motion, gets the toss sweep. It's Daryl Norman. Norman still on his feet inside the 30-yard line. Good run by Daryl Norman, brought down by Brad Jefferson, number 4, and number 53, McCarless King.
Good quickness by Daryl Norman getting to the outside, showing that burst, and that's what you need, and that's what they've been really going off of all year. As you see, getting the toss from Barton, getting to the edge, and that's just pure speed out there on the corner.
And another 1st down as Lincoln County's marching down the field at the 29-yard line of Johnson County. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. And a handoff up the gut to number 2, Shontavius Jennings. Jennings battling his way inside the 15-yard line. Great run by Shontavius Jennings, brought down finally by Brad Jefferson and Cedric Rawlings. But take a look at the blocking here, DJ.
Look at both guards, Logan Rhodes, as well as Robert Biles, the offensive tackle, opening up the hole there for the running back to get up inside. Jim, I think with those guys blocking like that, you could get a carry like that.
You know, I think you're right. 1st and 10 for Lincoln County at the 15-yard line of Johnson County. Barton has the offense moving downfield quickly. Man in motion, handoff, Jennings. Jennings battling his way down to about the 12-yard line. Stopped by number 30, Stacy DeVero.
The Trojans defense hunkering down, and we're going right back to that same hold there. But again, an adjustment on defense, plugged it up, and good sound play by the defensive line for the Johnson County Trojans.
Jennings has had quite a career at Johnson County, over 1,600 yards rushing. And there's Barton bringing the offense up for Lincoln County. 2nd and 8. 3-step drop, fires right side, has a man. That's Alex Bradford, touchdown!
Great execution there by Barton and his wide out. I'll tell you, perfect pitch and catch there to get the ball into the end zone.
Bradford on the receiving end. And Lincoln County goes up 6-0.
Taking a look at that, Barton spots his wide out there. Probably the coach upstairs saw something and saw the cornerback playing off, but was able to execute the pass and get it in the end zone for the score.
And to attempt the extra point is Ronte Norman for Lincoln County. His kick is up, and it's good. So Lincoln County has the early lead with 8:54 to go. 7-0 over Johnson County. DJ, Red Devils just took it and went right downfield.
And that's what you have to do. You have to establish the tempo, and here you got another look at Bart throwing darts, essentially. But I still think that play came from upstairs, seeing how soft the cornerbacks were playing for Johnson County. Great catch and nice effort to get into the end zone.
And here's yet another angle from the end zone.
Great second effort by Alex Bradford to get in the end zone after keeping his balance, maintaining his balance.
And there's the scoring drive. 7 plays, 60 yards, and it only took 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Bradford on the receiving end of a 12-yard touchdown reception to cap it off. That's Bradford's, by the way, first touchdown in the postseason. Ronte Norman to kick it off for Lincoln County. As you see, the head coach, Larry Campbell, in his 22nd semifinal in his 34 years at Lincoln County.
Jim, I think it's very important to see how Johnson County answers to, of course, that score by Lincoln.
They kick it off to the 40-yard line, and it goes back deep. And this is B.J. Murray. Murray, 20, 25, and is finally brought down around the 27, 28-yard line. That's where Johnson County will take over. 1st and 10, stopped by number 59, Keith Cripe.
Great vision there by B.J. Murray up inside there, seeing the crease and hitting it. He almost attacked at another level. One man, and he would have been off to the races.
There you see Cordell Johnson's numbers on the year, 59 of 129 for 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, but this kid has some speed. 1st and 10, the ball marked at the 28-yard line for Johnson County, trailing 7-0 in the early going. And the handoff. An option play, looking downfield, has a man, and it's broken up by number 9, Ronte Norman of Lincoln County. Tempted for number 14, Cedric Rawlings downfield.
And you see the defensive back was not fooled at all.
Actually, Rawlings is the one that threw the ball, and on the receiving end was Antonio King, number 36. There's a look at Bill Bonds.
Johnson County opening up with a little wrinkle there, but it's going to take that and some good solid football in order for them to compete today.
So a flea flicker off the top. 2nd and 10 for Johnson County. Johnson rolls left, fires, has a man. That's number 4. That is Brad Jefferson. And Jefferson looks like he has enough for the first down. He does.
As you see the nice ball fake there by Johnson, and again, allowing to get his shoulder square, throwing the dart to Jefferson out there for the nice gain.
So a 1st and 10 for Jefferson County at their own 45-yard line. There's their offensive lineup. On the line, it's Dixon, Tanner, Whitley, King, and Lindsay. In the backfield, DeVero, Rawlings, Whitley, Murray, and Martin is your tight end. On 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Johnson on the keeper. And now we have a whistle. And it could be a false start on the offense.
Johnson County is doing a nice job of answering the score by Lincoln County coming out and executing. Hopefully this is not a penalty against them.
There you see Coach Bill Bonds.
It is.
The referee is Gene McLeod for the single A football semifinal.
Dead ball, false start by the offense, 5 yards, first down.
If you want to break up your momentum, that's the kind of stuff that'll do it.
Defensively, Lincoln County, here's how they stack up on the line. It's Wells, McGill, Jennings, and Norman. The linebackers are Jones, Porter, and Crite. And back deep is both Normans, 3 Normans, and Jones. Under 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Johnson County at their own 40-yard line on a 1st and 15. And the handoff to number 23, Ashton Thompson. And Thompson picks up a couple.
Johnson did a nice job there executing the little belly play there. Looks like he's going to come back, and he's setting up probably the option to come back to the wide side of the field after faking it up inside to the fullback. But that's the kind of plays that Johnson County has been successful with Johnson leading this team in that I formation, run the option.
Clock continues to run. Johnson County at their own 46 with a 2nd down and 9. Johnson looks right side, has a man. Incomplete, intended for number 14, Cedric Rawlings.
Johnson seems to have not gathered himself and rolled into his right to our near side. Then, of course, not really getting, his feet set to get that ball, to get the mustard on it that he needs to get that pass in there. As you see him rolling here to your near side, take a look at him. He's actually threw off his back foot, and that accounted for that pass being a little high.
Rawlings, his favorite target on the year, especially at 6'2", 205. So it's a 3rd down and 9 for Johnson County. Johnson looks downfield, has a man. And then he's gone. Brad Jefferson, touchdown.
Great trickery there on that offensive set there. Everything was coming to the right side. Everybody but Jefferson. Jefferson did a little drag back across the formation and was wide open, as literally all of the defense of the Red Devils were on the near sideline.
What a great play. Johnson rolls right, then looks left, and Johnson wide open. He takes it 54 yards for a touchdown, and Johnson County is finally on the board. And Spencer Hartley now to attempt the extra point to tie it up. And Hartley's kick is up, and it's good. So Lincoln County scores on their first possession, and Johnson County does the same.
Take another look at, of course, the great fake by Johnson, fooling everybody going right, but throwing back against the field to hit Jefferson over there on the other side, and he slips out the back door. Now, this is so much for the, being shocked or being in awe of being in this building. That showed me right there that Johnson County is ready to play.
Yeah, there was the understanding that there was an ooh-ah syndrome going on with the Trojans making their first trip here. There's the scoring drive, 5 plays, 72 yards. Only took 2 minutes and 1 second. And, of course, Jefferson on the receiving end of that 54-yard touchdown reception. Spencer Hartley is set to kick this thing off for Johnson County as Bill Bonds gives some final instructions to these special teams.
Exciting ball game here in the early goings, and I know that's what you come to see when you come to the Dome, and those folks that are watching out there all over the region.
And Hartley's going to look to kick this one again straight up. Another short kick, DJ.
I wouldn't do that because, again, you're giving Lincoln County a short field to work with, and I think as potent as that offense is, you need to give them as much field as they need.
And it's a short kick, and it's fielded by number 27, Alex Bradford. And he's taken down right away by number 5, Kelvis Whitley. Good play by Whitley.
Big hit by Whitley. But I don't know. I think that I'll take another look at this, but check this out.
Whitley on top of it there, and so Lincoln County will start at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Of course, your quarterback for Lincoln County is Brandon Barden, number 6, the junior. Got a man in motion, inside handoff to Darrell Norman, and Norman has nowhere to go. Stopped by number 26, Rictavius Prosser, and also number 76,
Curtis
Daniels.
Great execution there, but again, penetration by Curtis Daniels to get into the backfield. I don't care what kind of execution you have on the offensive side. You don't give yourselves a chance when you don't block guys like Daniels. Vic Prosser, another big hitter there, one of the leaders on the defense, in on that play as well.
So it's a 2nd down and 12 as the Red Devils lost 2 yards on that play from their own 23. Handoff inside to number 3, Tyler Beal. Beal stands at 5'9", 195. He picked up about 8 yards on the play. Gets to about the 31-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd and about 4 for Lincoln County.
Curtis Daniels was back in the backfield again, just one hole over from where that ball was run up inside. Then that would have been another big play for Daniels, but fortunately for the Red Devils, they were able to get a few yards out of it.
So a big 3rd and 4 for Lincoln County at the 5:40 mark of the first quarter. Inside, no, fake handoff. Keeper by Barton. He tries to run outside. Finally brought down at the 34-yard line by number 14, Cedric Rawlings. Good play by Rawlings.
Nice play by Rawlings, and also a nice play by Brandon Barton coming right at you here on this next play. You see a little bit of the athleticism of this 6'4" quarterback, stiff arming there and getting outside. Just doesn't have a pitch man, but great second effort there, getting his head down, getting under his pads, and getting good positive yardage.
Right into your living room. There's the numbers on Brandon Barden, his rushing yards for the year. 79 carries, 504 yards, averaging just over 6 yards a carry, and 10 touchdowns. Expect a lot of running out of him today. Brandon Barden is back to punt on a 4th and 1 for Lincoln County. Back deep to receive, number 14, Cedric Rawlings of Johnson County. And a low end over it and kick. And this one's going to be touched down by Lincoln County at about the 15-yard line.
Normally on low-line drivers like that, those are the kinds that you want to return to give you the best opportunity to beat, come up field before the coverage team gets you. But Rollins elected not to take the ball and run upfield with it.
It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like these high school football games possible on Georgia Public Broadcasting. To show your support, simply visit our website at www.gpb.org. It's totally secure, simple to use, and takes just 2 minutes. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. 1st and 10 for Johnson County at their own 15-yard line. Cordell Johnson, the senior quarterback, and he hands it off. And this one goes up the middle. That's Ashton Thompson with the carry. That's the second carry of the game for Ashton.
That's the bread and butter for the Trojans, the little belly option up inside out of the eye. They'll continue to do that until the Red Devils stop it. But on the other side of that, the other element or the other dimension of that play is, of course, Johnson getting outside on the corner with the option.
Coming up on the 4-minute mark in the first quarter. Very quick first quarter here from the Georgia Dome. And the handoff goes to number 5, Kelvis Whitley. And Whitley picks up a couple.
Nice push by the offensive front for the Trojans. That's Chaz Tanner as well as Darius Dixon, the offensive guard and tackle on that left side.
A 3rd and 1 for the Trojans. Handoff goes to Kelvis Whitley again, and he has more than enough for the first down as he crosses over the 30-yard line to about the 33. That'll be a 1st and 10 for Johnson County.
Good, tough running up inside. Running behind this excellent offensive line here on the right side. Running back nice and low. Good leverage getting up and running behind his pads and getting the great positive yards.
Darrell Norman made the tackle with some help from Jathius Jones, number 5. 1st and 10, Johnson County. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson looking downfield and incomplete. Intended for number 23, Ashton Thompson.
I believe the Red Devils got away with one there. Franklin Jones, the defensive back, although was in excellent position, but he might have gotten his hand in there and gotten away with it. But if they don't call it, I guess it's a good play.
There's Thompson. And here it is, a look one more time, coming right at you as Johnson fires downfield. Just out of the reach of Ashton Thompson. 2nd and 10. Johnson might be calling an audible here at the line. Johnson drops back, looks downfield, now runs right side, finally lets go, and this ball is incomplete, intended for number 30, Stacy DeVero.
Johnson does a great job with the ball fake there, but he's not fooling the defensive line there. As you see the pressure that's put on the quarterback for Johnson County, but he moves outside, still throwing off that back foot, and that's accounting for the ball sailing on him.
That leads to a 3rd and 10 now as Johnson comes back on the field with this 3rd down play.
Big play here for the Johnson County Trojans.
Johnson in the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Rolls right, looks right, fires, has a man, complete to number 5, Kelvis Whitley. Whitley's at the 45-yard line, and that will be enough for a Johnson County 1st down.
Nice execution by the quarterback Johnson. As you see him out of the shotgun, he's going to roll to the right, gets his feet set, throws a dart, hitting Whitley for a nice gain. Right on the numbers. I don't think you can throw it any better than that.
So the drive is still alive. There you see Johnson's numbers on the year. In passing, 59 of 129, 13 touchdowns.
A lot of formations here by the Johnson County Trojans.
2.5 to go. 1st and 10. Johnson rolls left. We have a whistle on the field.
If you're the defensive coordinator for the Red Devils, man, it's giving you fits because they're coming out with so many multiple formations. They're spreading you out wide, and then they're packing it in tight and running out of the eye. But nice selection, nice play selection by the Johnson County offensive staff.
This one gets walked back on Johnson County. Here's referee Gene McLeod.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, first down.
And here are the officials for today's game. Of course, Gene McLeod, and then you have Austin, Smith, Leonard, White, and Chastain, the field judge. Georgia Football Officials Association calling today's game here at the Georgia Dome. First and 15 for Johnson County at the 40-yard line. Johnson checking out that defense before he starts calling. Now we have a stop and play here. And a flag. And this one is too much time against Johnson County.
Another one of those formations had wing to the right there, but they had a slot to the left. And, again.
Dead ball, delay of the game, 5 yards on the offense, first down.
A lot of formations being used here in the early goings by Johnson County.
So what started out as a 1st and 10 at the 45 is now a 1st and 20 at the 35 for Johnson County. Johnson under center. And the handoff to number 30, Stacy DeVero. DeVero to the 45-50 and gets inside Lincoln County territory at the 48-yard line, brought down by number 7, Darrell Norman.
Great blocking on this play. Take another look at it. DeVero getting the block from 14 there. Rollins on the outside to cut it up inside. But look at the explosion after he picks up that block and reads it. And these guys are really, really quick.
They mark it at the 47. That's where Johnson County has it, 1st and 10. 1:27 to go first quarter on a 2nd and 2. Check that. And the handoff. Actually, Johnson keeps it. And the stop by Shontavius Jennings. There you see him, number 2.
Shontavius right in the middle of everything there, wrestling the running back to the ground there, making a statement, if you will.
Jennings has had a great postseason. Scored a touchdown against Twiggs County. 53-yarder. Under a minute to go, first quarter. And the handoff goes to number 5, Kelvis Whitley. And Whitley gets inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line, stopped by number 59, Keith Cright.
And that's the leader of that defense. And, of course, he does a great job of getting off blocks and finding the football. Keith Cright, leading tackler for the Lincoln County Red Devils.
Well, the crowd's into the game. The players are in the game. I mean, I think they're all loosened up now. I don't think there's any more oohs and ahs about, hey, this is a big place to play. There you see some of the Red Devil fans that made the trip from Lincolnton. 30 seconds and counting in the first quarter. 1st and 10, Johnson County at the 44. Handoff left side, Stacy DeVero, and he's pretty much stopped as soon as he had the ball in his hands by number 52, Jonathan Norman.
Big play there by Jonathan Norman, setting, again, trying to establish the tempo. Again, I don't think it's been set either way just yet, but again, still in the early goings, both teams, and like you said, that ooh and ah theory, it could go out the window now. I think it's anybody's ball game. I don't think that Johnson County is in awe of being here. I think that they know that they deserve to be here.
That's the end of the first quarter from the Georgia Dome. And welcome back to the Georgia Dome as we get ready for the second quarter. Tie game, Lincoln County and Johnson County tied at 7. DJ, your thoughts on the first quarter?
I think that the fact that both coaches did an excellent job of having their teams prepared to play. Bill Bonds as well as Larry Campbell there as you're looking at him on the screen. These guys, again, coming into this game, we all said, we were talking about it during the pregame, how Johnson County hadn't been here before, so you expected them to be a little shocked and in awe, but that hasn't been the fact. I think Cordell Johnson has done an excellent job of making sure that his team was prepared to play, and we're in for a treat, I think.
Coach Campbell was known of saying before the game and before the season, hey, this is going to be a rebuilding year, guys. We were basically playing with last year's JV team, and yet this has been his most exciting season as a head coach.
I think it's been amazing. This guy has been, for 34 years, has been, of course, coaching, and he's one of the all-time best in the state. It's number 1 is all-time in wins, number 7 in the nation, 386 victories. That's a lot of wins, and this guy has been in this building playing a lot of times, but he's done a great job. He doesn't have a lot of veteran ball players on his team, and again, the adversity at quarterback at the beginning of the season, that spells success for me.
All right, we are ready for the start of the second quarter. Johnson County ready to go on offense. They had their huddle on the sideline, so it's a 2nd down and 9 play. for the Trojans at the Red Devil 43-yard line. Johnson in the shotgun, rolls left, fires downfield, has a man. It's caught by number 2, B.J. Murray. And Murray off the deflection scores the touchdown for Johnson County.
Great concentration by Murray, staying with the pass. It should have been picked off, went right through the hands of the defensive back. But great concentration by Murray on the little stuttering goal. Didn't fool the defensive back, but keeping in concentration with the ball, getting in the end zone.
43-yard touchdown play from Cordell Johnson to B.J. Murray. Spencer Hartley on to attempt the extra point. Big play for Johnson County to take in the lead, 13-7. Here's Hartley's kick. It's up, and it's good. And Johnson County, just like that, goes up 14-7.
I think you'll see that the defensive back, Daniel Wright, has an opportunity to make a big play for his team there. Didn't get fooled there, as Wright went right through his hands and into the hands of Murray and into the end zone. Great concentration.
There's Darrell Norman. He has it. Oh, no, I don't think so. It's B.J. Murray who comes down with it, and he's in for 6 points. Here it is, another great angle, as our crew every year has some fantastic shots for these games in the postseason.
Johnson's going to pay, though. Not too big of a shot.
He gets to see the play sitting down. Can't beat that, really. So Johnson County up 14-7 in the early going. You know, the story we talked about Lincoln County, and you know how this was supposed to be a rebuilding year. Johnson County, on the other hand, they opened up the year losing 48-0 to Dublin, and then reeling off 12 straight.
Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about getting your attention early on. Yeah, losing 48-0, but yet still coming back. That's been phenomenal.
Johnson County, 11 plays, 85 yards, ate up 4.5 minutes, and Murray, of course, with the touchdown kick. Spencer Hartley to kick it off for Johnson County. And the fans that made the trip up from Wrightsville, Georgia, are very excited right now.
That's right, all 2,253 of them.
Yeah, the whole town. We were talking to some guys from Wrightsville before the ball game, and DJ, I think they were telling you that I don't think there's anybody left.
I don't think so either, but I tell you what, that's one person that I'm sure is watching this game right now, probably the biggest star that ever came out of there. Herschel Walker, I'm sure that he's taking a look.
All right, let's go downstairs to John O'Brien. John?
Hey guys, the Johnson County fans are pumped up. A 43-yard strike after a 54-yard strike for the first touchdown. Cordell Johnson is on fire. These guys are going crazy. They got the lead. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. So we get ready for the Johnson County kickoff after taking the lead 14-7 on a big play.
Well, Jim, talking about, again, that crowd that coming up from Johnson County that I mentioned before we went down to John. Herschel Walker, probably the greatest football player in the history of Johnson County, certainly in the history of the University of Georgia. But I wonder, he might be somewhere in this building checking it out. He's got to be proud of his Johnson County Trojan.
And you might know that, considering you played on that 1980 team with him.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Of course, Herschel Walker, the number 2 all-time leading rusher in the state, behind Dacus Turman of Washington Wilkes. And also the number 2 all-time touchdown leader behind Darius Walker of Buford. Of course, Walker now playing up at Notre Dame up in South Bend, Indiana. Here's the kickoff by Hartley. And taken by number 3, Tyler Beal. Escaping tacklers and finally brought down around the 38-yard line, where Lincoln County will take over 1st and 10. Spencer Hartley actually made the tackle. The kick.
I'm still trying to understand the philosophy here on the kickoff of the little pooch kick there, and I know that there's some dangerous return men for the Red Devils, but still, you're giving them a short field to work with here.
Good shot of Brandon Barden, your quarterback. And 1st and 10 for Lincoln County on their own 38-yard line. Man in motion is Norman. The pitch goes to Ronte Norman, left side. Rawlings is chasing after him. Norman turns the corner. He's at the 50, and now about the 48-yard line, brought down by number 53, McCarles King. of Johnson County.
Ronte Norman showed some explosive speed there. He ran about 55 yards to gain about 8. And looking at it, he's running across the formation, takes the pitch. He's going to run about 30 yards across the formation before he can finally get it turned upfield. But that you have to be fast to be able to make that turn.
And finally brought down. Rawlings was after him. I thought he was going to get him. 1st and 10 at the Johnson County 48-yard line for Lincoln County. And we have a whistle before this one gets started. And this might be movement on Lincoln County. And so this will go against Lincoln County.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. First down.
Tell you what, Lincoln County's quarterback, Brandon Barton, is a good-looking athlete. They had him at tight end and wide receiver initially, but I tell you what, I wouldn't know any differently because he looks like a perfect specimen for the quarterback position. Great athlete.
So Lincoln County with a 1st and 15 now at the 47-yard line. Man in motion, and the handoff goes to number 9, Ronte Norman. And Norman gets to about the 42-yard line of Johnson County. Big run by Norman.
What you just saw there is obviously what the double wing can give you. A lot of misdirection and a lot of trickery up in between the tackles.
Stopped by number 51, Jeremy Martin, and number 26, Rick Prosser, who we talked about in the open. Second down and 4. Call at the 42-yard line. Man in motion is Norman again. And he gets the pitch. And it's Darrell Norman. Getting to about the 26-yard line. Stopped by number 4, Brad Jefferson.
A lot of quickness on the Red Devil side of the ball there, as you see that Norman takes the toss coming right at you, using that speed and quickness to get outside, and really nice gain there out of the double wing formation.
Clock continues to run, coming up on 10:20 left, second quarter. One wide out to the left for Lincoln County. 3 in the backfield, handoff inside. This is Shontavious Jennings. Jennings breaks loose, touchdown, Shontavious Jennings.
Wonderful play. Brandon Barton, great execution, faking it up inside. Nobody knew who had the football. But Shontavious Jennings getting in the end zone, and I guess after he got in the end zone, people figured out that he had the ball. But great execution, great ball fake, and just a great offensive play by the Red Devils.
Ronte Norman on to attempt the extra point. Looking for the tie. And the kick is up, and it is good. So Lincoln County bounces back on this 27-yard run by Shontavious Jennings.
Again, he doesn't get touched until he gets to the second level there, but great execution here by Brandon Barton, slipping it up to inside there, and the nice running up inside by Shontavious Jennings. As you saw there, nobody touched him until he got to the second level. But again, that double wing, and that is more of an inverted wishbone, and perfect execution. Great score.
I tell you what, that offensive line opened it up. It looked like the parting of the Red Sea right there. I mean, it just ran right down the middle.
Of course, to run the double wing, you have to have some good offensive linemen, of course, and they're led up front by the center, Trey Morris, along with McGill and Rhodes at the guards, and Biles and Timpson at the tackles.
Some of the Red Devil fans that made the trip from Lincolnton on hand here at the Georgia Dome on this holiday weekend. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving Day.
I had a wonderful Thanksgiving with my family there. I didn't eat too much turkey. I want to be ready.
Got to be ready to go for the big game. Ronte Norman to kick it off. Back deep for the Johnson County Trojans. Number 2, B.J. Murray. Here's the kick. And it's a line drive kick. And taken by number 26, Rictavious Prosser, and he is brought down immediately. Good special teams coverage by Lincoln County. Number 65, Daniel Morris.
Big play, big special team play by Morris there. I tell you what, that's just as good, as a turnover there when you go down and establish that kind of contact there. You get everybody excited about playing the game.
So both teams have scored twice. So here comes Johnson County, led by Cordell Johnson.
The way we're going right here is who ends up with the football last is going to come out victorious.
It's turning out to be one of those. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. And the handoff goes to Kelvis Whitley. Whitley trying to turn the corner, is finally knocked out of bounds about the 36-yard line.
Another nice look there as Johnson County came out in somewhat of a spread formation, but again, getting a nice running play there across the formation as Whitley bringing the ball to the near sideline for a nice pickup.
So they mark it at the 36-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 2 for the Trojans. Two wide out, split, one left, one to the right. And we have a whistle before the play. Maybe some movement on Johnson County.
Tell you what, though, Jim, here in the early goings, though, I think that the catalyst from both teams has been the play of the quarterbacks. I think these guys have remained poised, and they've done the things that they needed to do to give them an opportunity to get the ball into the end zone.
Instead, it's offsides on Lincoln County.
Dead ball, encroachment by the defense. 5 yards, 1st down.
It's not surprising for Johnson County's quarterback, of course, the veteran Johnson, but again, Brandon Barton, again, the guy that was a converted wide receiver just before the start of the season, playing so well.
So it's a 1st down now for Johnson County at the 41-yard line. Johnson, your quarterback, fake handoff, looks downfield, has a man. It's Rawlings, but thrown over his head. Defended by number 9, Ronte Norman.
Ronte Norman did a great job of having excellent position on the big playmaker, Cedric Rollins from Johnson County. Rollins averages nearly 26 yards per reception. And with that, I'm sure that demanded the respect that Ronte Norman had.
You see Coach Larry Campbell walking the sidelines. On a 2nd and 10 for Johnson County. Johnson doing a little check off. And now the fake handoff rolls right, in trouble. Johnson turns left, goes back the other way, up the middle, and gets over the 45 to about the 46. Stopped by number 2, Shontavious Jennings.
Good thing there that the Red Devils applied some pressure there and has quarterback Johnson running for his life because he had his big playmaker across the middle there. Rollins wide open, but again, the pressure, the great pressure by the defense there didn't allow him to stand up and see his target.
And there you see Shontavious Jennings, 5'11", 210-pound senior for Lincoln County. On a 3rd and 6, Johnson in the shotgun. Johnson rolls left, in trouble, and down he goes at about the 39-yard line. Brought down by Jathius Jones, number 5. Good play by Jones.
And that play was made possible by the leader of that defense, number 55, Casey Crite. Was the first one in the backfield. Take another look there. Crite up inside, forcing the issue here. He has to get half of that sack.
Absolutely. Clock running in this first fast half. Yeah, that's easy to say. Spencer Ronte Norman is back deep, partly punted away. And Norman fields it at the 17. Norman looking to run left side, across the 25. Now looks for the sidelines, and here he goes. He's at the 45, 50, 40, 35, and finally brought down at the 30-yard line, and the kick defender Spencer Hartley makes his second tackle of the game.
I'll tell you what, the key to this return is the beautiful execution of the wall being set up on the left side of the field there by the Red Devils. Great blocking, great play by the special teams. As you see him, he's setting it up, setting a wall up before he takes his final approach to the outside. But everything is being set up right in front of him. Great blocking along the left sideline there. And that is the reason why he was able to get such a wonderful return.
Just like they teach it in practice, and I'm sure Coach Campbell is happy. A 59-yard return takes the Red Devils to the 28-yard line of Johnson County. Hand off to Tyler Beal, and Beal picks up a couple. He gets up to about the 23-yard line of Johnson County.
I guess that also, when we talk about why Johnson County is pooch kicking, I guess the explosiveness of that return shows you or gives you an explanation of why they don't want to kick the ball deep to the return men from Lincoln County.
They mark it at the 24. That's where it'll be 2nd and 6 for Lincoln County. Brandon Barton is your quarterback. He's a junior, stands 6'5", 225, so you can see the field very well from his vantage point as the quarterback. There you see a good shot of Brandon. And the handoff to Tyler Beal. Beal follows his left tackle, and he's brought down by number 53, McCarlis King.
Red Devils are continuing to give the ball to the fullback up inside. We noticed the last time they scored was a long play up inside to Shontavius Jennings, but they're continuing that with Tyler Beal up inside until Johnson County does something to stop it.
Under 7.5 to go. And it's now at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for Lincoln County. Man in motion is Norman. Barton keeps this one. Looks like a busted play. And he's brought down by Rictavius Prosser, number 26. Also in the play is number 54, Philip Whitley. There you see him.
Nice play there. Nice pressure up front by the defensive front for the Trojans from Johnson County. Has a good look at number 26. Rick Prosser, one of the leaders there, leading tacklers for that Johnson County defense.
So a loss on the play turns it into a 2nd down and 11 for Lincoln County. At the 17, in motion, Norman, he gets the flip. It's Ricardo Norman, and Norman is brought down at about the 16-yard line. Gain of about 1 for Norman.
Nice play by the defender to get off of the block there to string it out so that he didn't give the running back an opportunity to get the corner.
Look at the height here, 6'5". Did you see him standing over?
Good-looking kid, and he's not a skinny guy. He's a tall kid, but he's put together. He's about 225 pounds.
Has to be on the basketball team, no doubt.
Reminds me of a one-time Arkansas quarterback that's now playing receiver with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Here is Barton under center at the 16-yard line on 3rd and 8. Barton drops back, looks, fires, right side, has a man, touchdown, Ronte Norman. And the cheerleaders love it.
Great pass by Brandon Barton. That was a rope, and he threw that ball across the field there. Now, that's a tough pass to throw, but again, I tell you, this guy never ceases to amaze me. He's doing an excellent job here for a fill-in quarterback.
16-yard touchdown pass, Brandon Barton to Ronte Norman. And now Norman takes a breather and says, oh, wait, I got to kick the extra point. Snap's good, holds good, kicks up, and it's good. It's 21-14 Lincoln County at 5:39 to go till halftime here at the Dome.
All right, take a look at him. I mean, this guy, again, you're talking about a guy that was converted at the beginning of the season, but you can't look at this play and tell me that this guy isn't a quarterback. Great set and throw. Nice execution. Take another look at that. Good feet, standing tall, ball up high. Good release, right on the money.
Great play. Norman's had a nice postseason. I know he had 2 touchdowns against Gordon Lee, and he also had an interception in that game against Twiggs County in the quarterfinals. So a great postseason for Ronte Norman as Lincoln County has the lead 21-14. And for Coach Campbell, yeah, we talked about it. Ho-hum.
Oh, exactly, exactly. But again, I'm sure that all of that, that's not a word on the sideline right now, because they're in for the fight of their lives, and they understand that this Johnson County team is not going to be intimidated, and they have to go out and somehow get a stop.
Ronte Norman to kick it off for Lincoln County. Back deep for Johnson County, number 2, B.J. Murray.
Murray possesses excellent speed and quickness there, and I know that the Red Devils don't want to kick the ball to him, so I will see how this thing ends up.
And this one is taken at the 4-yard line by B.J. Murray. Murray to the 15. Murray breaks a tackle, finally brought down at the 19-yard line by number 4, Franklin Jones, the junior.
Well, the Red Devils have the answer to that. Of course, that speed and quickness is corralling the guy, getting all those red hats around the ball, and did a good job of covering.
And there's Lincoln County's scoring drive. 5 plays, 28 yards, just under 3 minutes. And, of course, Norman with the touchdown on the 16-yard touchdown pass. 21-14. Lincoln County over Johnson County. Great offensive battle, as we said from the open. 1st and 10, 19. Johnson in trouble. In trouble again. Escapes. Now a fumble. And it's picked up by number 4, Franklin Jones, and Lincoln County will have it. 1st and 10 at the Johnson County 5-yard line.
You like for your quarterback to be elusive and have the great athletic ability, but sometimes you get penalized. Here's a look at that last play. Johnson has the great ability to spin out of trouble 2 or 3 times here. I think the last time he gets the ankle caught in the turf, and you see the turnover come out there.
And the pickup by Franklin Jones, the hit by Jeffrey Porter. Check this out. And number 53 is down for Lincoln County. That's Chase McGill.
Interesting point here with Johnson down. If he's not able to come back, Cedric Rollins, as you see Johnson, the starting quarterback, down on the turf right there, but Cedric Rollins, the outstanding receiver for Johnson County, also doubles as a quarterback. He's just as dangerous, if not more dangerous. Jeffrey Porter's up and healthy, running off the field there for the Red Devils. And now Johnson. Cordell Johnson appears to be up and okay.
Looks like he might have turned that thing as he went down. So Lincoln County with great field position at the 5-yard line of Johnson County's, and a chance to take a 14-point lead.
This is certainly the break that Larry Campbell's been looking for his Red Devils.
And we might be able to get a report from John O'Brien, see how he's doing down there. Meantime, 1st and goal for the Red Devils. They're in 3 men in the backfield, and the handoff straight up the gut. And that's number 7, Darrell Norman. And Norman takes it to about the 2-yard line. Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Nice fundamental tackle by Rick Prosser with Johnson County there to keep the running back out of the end zone.
Ball's marked at about the 1.5-yard line. As the Lincoln County players tried to get their crowd into it. Great shot there of Brandon Barton, your quarterback. High formation and the handoff. And that's Darrell Norman who gets to the 1-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd and goal.
Take a look at the defensive front here at Johnson County. They're playing strong up inside. They're getting good penetration there. Good finish there by Philip Whitley.
Got a little battle going on in the trenches.
This is where you find out what you're made out of when you're down there and your back's against the goal line there, and as Johnson County is.
3rd and goal. Quarterback Steve Barton on 2nd effort. Touchdown, Lincoln County.
That's just a man on man. Red Devils able to penetrate that defensive line of Johnson County to get into the end zone to give their quarterback an opportunity to go ahead and sneak it right in.
Barden followed his center Trey Morris and his offensive guard Chase McGill right into the end zone. That says it all, doesn't it?
It says a lot.
Ronte Norman on to attempt the extra point. 27-14, Lincoln County. And bad snap. Norman's going to look to run this one in, and he does. So it's a 2-point conversion.
Norman is such
for
a
Lincoln County, and Lincoln County now has a 29-14 lead.
What a playmaker. All right, here's a chance for you to see that nice push up front by the Red Devils offensive line and the sneak by the quarterback.
Now, meantime, here's the bad snap, and Norman takes it.
You can do no wrong.
It's also nice to have a great athlete in Norman as your kicker.
You said that. We've called his name a number of times already here in the early goings.
So Lincoln County was trying to go up 14. Well, instead, they make it 15. 2 plays, 5 yards. Of course, off the fumble by Johnson County. It only took 1:15, and Barden with the sneak. Ronte Norman, there you see him. He's going to kick it off. And, of course, counting all the players on the field. Make sure we only have 11.
That's right. Be interesting to see if Johnson's going to take the field at quarterback again. I know he went down with an ankle injury here on the last possession.
B.J. Murray back deep to receive for Johnson County. And here's the kick. And it's Murray from the 5. 10, 15, 20. Murray still on his feet. Gets to about the 25-yard line. That's where Johnson County will take over. 1st and 10.
Cedric Rawlings is going to go ahead and take the place of Johnson in the lineup. Cordell Johnson is still nursing that ankle sprain on the sideline. Hopefully we'll get a report on him in just a little bit. But Cedric Rawlings is no slouch. He has been quite impressive. He's been called upon to play the position and has played it well.
All right, let's go downstairs to John O'Brien. John?
Yeah, guys, I got an update on Cordell Johnson. I heard him say on the sideline that he thinks he's going to play. There was obvious pain as they took his sock off. I noticed there was another ankle brace, which could signify another injury, a previous injury. So, but I did hear him say he was going to play.
All right, thanks, John. Rawlings on the keeper, and he picks up maybe a yard on that play.
Interesting as Johnson County comes out with a spread offense, trying to take advantage of the athleticism of Rawlings and ran the keeper up inside.
And Rawlings was stopped on the play by number 59, Keith Kreit. And that's exactly what John was talking about right there, getting wrapped up. His ankle is Johnson, so.
Well, times have certainly changed there with the ankle braces and tape underneath there. We didn't have ankle braces back in our day.
4 of 9 today, 126, and 2 touchdowns for Johnson. 2nd and 9, Rawlings under center. Rawlings, and the handoff goes to number 30, Stacy DeVero. He's the junior running back for Johnson County. Cedric Rawlings, when he was a quarterback throughout the season, he was 6 of 14 for 169 and 2 touchdowns. So he has the experience back there as a quarterback. Stop on the last play by Jathius Jones.
It's kind of tricky here when you watch this, watch these two teams play right now. I don't know if it's the pressure of the defensive line of Jonathan Norman and Chase McGill up front with the Red Devils, or is it the lack of protection on the offensive side.
2:42 and counting till halftime, and the handoff inside, and that's Stacy DeVero again. There you see Rawlings. You can see the timing's a little off because of Rawlings being a quarterback here for the first time during the game.
This guy stumbled and still was able to get 4 yards, though. Ugly as it is, 4, 5, 6 yards there on just a play that shouldn't have gotten a yard. But once again, you talk about as you take a good look at Rawlings there. He's a guy that, averaging 26 yards per reception. He's a guy that's very versatile and does a great job even on the defensive side. I think he's one of the leaders as far as interceptions. But he's an all-around great athlete. So as soon as
All right, DJ, earlier we had a chance to talk to Coach Bill Bonds about what was special about this year's football team.
We've had some good teams in Wright, so we had some really good players. I think most important combination I think that this football team has is just chemistry. You know, we've had a good years. We played for a state title before, but I think the chemistry of this football team kind of is indicative of what they've meant to our community.
That's Coach Bonds. There's your punt by Spencer Hartley. Back deep is Ronte Norman. And Norman is at his own 25, now looks upfield and turns it up, gets to about the 34-yard line. And that's where Lincoln County will start 1st and 10 with 2:17 to go till halftime. Coach Bonds has been at Johnson County for 10 years. And his record at Johnson County, 81-37. His career record overall, 107-46. And by the way, he attended Lander University. On the other sideline, of course, Larry Campbell was a UGA grad.
Go Dogs.
I had a funny feeling I'd hear that once today. Interesting note, too, about Bonds. He was saying that his team doesn't have the depth in many positions to give players time to recuperate. You know, he says he only has 7 kids who never come off the field. He's got 7 players that play offensively and defensively. That's a tough job.
It is going to be tough, and especially you trailing now 29-14 here, and you know it's not going to get any better. Certainly in the latter quarters there, you know, end of the third and into the fourth quarter, that's gonna definitely tell the tale. Very successful coach there. This guy's number 7 nationally, 380. Is it 286?
386
386 victories. That's a lot of football games, a lot of wins for one coach.
Total yards in this one almost balanced. Johnson County with 183, Lincoln County 169, and about to pick up some more on 1st and 10. Man in motion is Norman. Inside handoff is Ronte Norman. Norman breaks it free. 50, 45, 40. Norman could go the distance. 20-yard line, 15, 10. Norman, one quick move. Now fumbles the football at the 5, and Johnson County has it.
What a break for the Johnson County Trojans.
Norman tried to fake out that last defender and instead dropped the football. And it's Prosser coming up with the big play. Rick Prosser, number 26. Here it is again.
He breaks out to the outside there. Looked like he's going to go out in open field. Great effort there. Look at the defensive back still staying with the play. Number 24, John Linder, causing the fumble there. And Johnson County getting the ball back.
So Norman takes it 61 yards, loses it at the 5-yard line, and Johnson County will now take over 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line with 2 minutes, 3 seconds to go.
A lot of credit have to be given to the defensive back, John Linder, to chase that ball down and cause the fumble.
And Rawlings, your quarterback, in through the injured Johnson, who's on the sidelines. Rawlings fumbles the snap, and now it's picked up by number 30, Stacy DeVero. And DeVero gets him a little out of trouble, picks up maybe a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
23.
You know, I know it's still early, but I think it would have been safe to say that would have been a back-breaking score there if the Red Devils were able to, Johnson was able to get that ball into the end zone there, here already trailing 14-29.
And looks like Johnson's going to work his way back into the ball game as you look at head coach Bill Bonds. Interesting note about number 30, Stacy DeVero, on Johnson County, who just carried that ball. Stacy's father played on the 1979 championship team with Herschel Walker and Chaz Tanner, number 56, the offensive guard for Johnson County. His father also played on that 1979 team. And so it's a little history going on there in the DeVero and Tanner family. And of course, Chaz's cousin, Russ Tanner, plays at UGA.
Right.
And then before the game today, Harold Turner told Chaz Turner, he said, "Son, enjoy the moment. You don't know how precious this really is right now.
Indeed.
2nd and 8 for Johnson County at their own 7-yard line. Cordell Johnson back of the game for the Trojans, and the handoff goes to Kelvis Whitley, and Whitley gets to about the 13-yard line. And Whitley was brought down by number 5, Jathius Jones, with some help from number 4, Franklin Jones.
I think that this drive by Johnson County will definitely tell the tale of the next half, or the second half, being ready to play, because again, backed up, there's still not a lot of time left before the half is up, but again, showing poise and showing the perseverance to come drive from deep down in their own territory and to run this clock out will be very, very key. Now, if they get a score, that will be just gravy.
Earlier, we had a chance to ask Georgia's all-time winningest coach, Larry Campbell, about spending 35 years at one school.
Well, there's no question. Lincoln is a very special place when it comes to football. Very small town. A lot of the football town is centered around football and athletics. And very small, rural setting on the lake, and I couldn't ask for a better place to live. It's just being an AD and football coach, you make so many decisions that causes enemies regardless of what you do. When you multiply, say, 10 a year times 35, that's 350 people. That's about all that lives there. So the longer I stay, the harder it gets, but I'll always make Lincoln home.
Head coach Larry Campbell of Lincoln County. Johnson County with the ball, 3rd and 2. Johnson, and the handoff to Kelvis Whitley. And there was a loose ball down there, and Lincoln County says they have it, and they do.
That's not good. That's not good for Johnson County. Obviously, getting a break by recovering a fumble on a long run down there by Johnson, but giving it right back to the Red Devils. Let's take another look at that last play. Johnson with the handoff. Nothing spectacular there. No big hit. The ball just popped out of there. Let's take another.
Number 53, Chase McGill. Watch him jump on the loose ball right here. Right there. So a 1st and 10 for Lincoln County at the Johnson County 15-yard line. Brandon Barden's your quarterback. Man in motion is Norman. He gets the pitch. Now he looks downfield and possibly going to throw this one. Daryl Norman cannot find a receiver. Now he's trying to break loose. Now he's back at his own 30. Norman still on the loose, looking downfield, spin move, and finally just get brought down at the 18-yard line. I think Norman covered about 60 yards on that play.
A lot of running. I tell you, when you got athletes like that, they're really elusive and have a lot of speed and quickness, you get plays like that, broken plays that sometimes come up positive. In this case, he lost some yards.
He was finally brought down by John Linder and Jeremy Martin. There's a flag on the play, and it's going to go against Lincoln County as you watch this one. He goes left, then he goes right, then he says, whoop, I'm going to go back the other way, up the middle, and okay, that's it. And they get backed up big time. Back to the 41-yard line. There's Brandon Barden, your quarterback. Got trips to the left for Lincoln County on a 1st and 35. Barden, the pass to Norman. That's Daryl Norman. And Daryl Norman runs out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
Really impressed by these Norman boys. Daryl Norman, number 7, as well as Ronte, number 9. These guys are very elusive, very good in open field, and certainly excellent weapons to have on your offensive football team.
Interesting how they're all numbered. I mean, Daryl Norman, number 7. Ricardo Norman, number 8. Ronte Norman, number 9. I mean, they have it all in order here.
Right.
You know? 2nd and 27. As they picked up 8 on that last play. Take it one play at a time. There's Barden in the shotgun. Looks downfield. Has a man in the end zone. And it's overthrown, attempted for Alex Bradford, the junior wide receiver.
Good looking play there as he's trying to hit his receiver over the top, Alex Bradford. There's a look at The quarterback looking over top, throwing to the post there just a little far.
So it'll be 3rd and 27. I guess it helps being 6'5" as a quarterback.
Yes, it helps.
You quarterbacked a little bit up there at Georgia.
And of course, that's why I wasn't 6'5", and so I could tell this guy is having fun. He can see the field.
From the 33, Barden back to pass again. Looking downfield. Again has a man, and this time overshoots Alex Bradford again down near the 5-yard line.
That's a good decision to overthrow that because he was double covered there. Bradford was. They must see something down there because they keep going back to him at the post, but he was double covered that time.
So they regroup and try it again. And it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 27.
How big would it be for Lincoln County to get another score in here before the half?
That would be big. So here it is, a 4th and 27 at the 33. Barden in the shotgun. Barden looks downfield, has a man in the corner, and it's Norman, grabs it over the top, and that's a touchdown. There's also a flag thrown on the play. Might be some interference.
And we were just talking about the playmakers that these Norman kids are, and here is number 9, Ronte. Great play to go up and over the defensive back and take the ball away for, well, we don't know just yet if it's a touchdown. They called it against him.
Offensive interference against number 8, Ricardo Norman, down in the corner.
Ricardo.
And B.J. Murray with him step for step.
You know what? You can't get upset with players that make plays like that. Being aggressive, going up, and again, you know, if you do that 10 times, I would have him do the same thing 10 times. Make it a play.
That play could have gone either way, as you saw on the replay. So it's just that's what football game's all about. You know, you have a lot of those plays. Here's referee Gene McLeod.
Offense pass interference by the offense. Lost it down.
I guess the crowd's
On
telling us
4th
how they
down,
really
ball
feel.
goes over.
So that was a 4th and 27. So now Johnson County takes over, since that's a loss of down for Lincoln County. Really a big turn of events, because now Johnson County gets the ball at the 47, and with 39 seconds to go, they have 2 timeouts, so they could work this thing downfield, DJ.
It could. In fact, if Johnson County is able to get a score in, that'd be a nice 14-point swing to the good for Johnson County.
So a 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. And now I think Johnson County wants to talk it over. There you see Bill Bonds, the head coach for Johnson County. It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like these high school football games possible on Georgia Public Broadcasting. To show your support, simply visit our website at www.gpb.org. It's totally secure, simple to use, and takes just 2 minutes. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. And you hear it every year as you come down here to the Georgia Dome. There you see some fans getting some of their own video shots. But you hear it all the time from the fans, from the coaches, from even the referees. I mean, they're back. They have they're taping the games at home and catching these things afterwards. I mean, everybody loves seeing these games on Georgia Public Broadcasting, because it doesn't matter what part of Georgia your school comes from, you'll be able to pick up the broadcast. All right, here we go. Johnson County on a 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Johnson with a screen pass, and it's dropped. Incomplete. Intended for number 4, Brad Jefferson.
Looked like he had a little bit too much mustard there, as Johnson has done a great job with his touch, but threw a fastball out there that Jefferson couldn't handle.
So 35 seconds left as we check out the replay again.
Jefferson's only about 6 or 7 yards away from the quarterback Johnson there, so imagine that bullet coming after him.
35 seconds till halftime. Both bands will take the field and give us a great halftime show. Here's Johnson, rolls left, in trouble, and down he goes. Great defensive play by Keith Kright, the junior linebacker.
That's about the second or third big play that he's made in the first half. Here's another look at him. He's getting great penetration there coming through on the blitz, getting quarterback in the backfield for a loss.
So another timeout by Johnson County with 18 seconds to go till halftime.
Would you try to throw a Hail Mary, or would you just go ahead and run the clock out and go in and regroup?
3rd and 18. Might want to try a long one.
I think I'll take a shot too.
Why not? Only 18 seconds to go, right?
Yep.
Johnson County in that in the quarterfinals beat Bremen 17-14. Close game. So I mean, they have some experience here in close games. If this remains a close game as we head down to the final seconds of the second half. In the meantime, Lincoln County, they had some big wins in the playoffs, including the quarterfinals where they shut out Twiggs 22-zip. So experience could help Johnson County in that close game towards the end.
And certainly, as long as that quarterback, number 15, Johnson, is healthy, they have a shot.
And they have it at their own 39-yard line. Again, a 3rd and 18 for the Trojans. Trips to the right on this 3rd and 18. So I think they will try to go long on this one, DJ.
Here we go.
Cordell Johnson. And here's the pitch to number 4, Brad Jefferson. Breaks a tackle and gets to about the 49-yard line. So the attention was on trips right, but yet Jefferson takes the pitch left. And time starts to run out here in the first half, and that is it. We are at halftime here at the Georgia Dome, the Single A football semifinal. Lincoln County leads Johnson County 29-14 as you look at some of the fans who enjoyed this big first half. They all made the long trip from Lincolnton and also from Wrightsville to stay under the dome in the nice warm weather of the Georgia Dome.
These teams certainly didn't do anything to disappoint them here in the first half. Exciting football game.
There you see the crowd on hand at 29-14, and the bands get ready to take the field here at halftime. Let's go downstairs to John O'Brien. John?
Hey, Coach Campbell, 29-14, excellent offense. How did you guys prepare for this game?
Well, first of all, we don't have enough points. I've seen them play, but and they making us, throw the football to win. As far as preparation, it wasn't any different from what we do every week.
What are you going to tell your boys at halftime?
Well, we're just going to go back in there and try to get them settled down. We felt like we had a difference of opinion on the touchdown right there. We got to settle them down, come out and play.
All right. Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
All right. Thank you, John. Halftime show is about to begin here at the Georgia Dome. We'll take a break. Lincoln County leads it over Johnson County 29-14. Halftime festivities are underway here at the Georgia Dome. Lincoln County leading it 29-14. The Lincoln County Red Devil Pride Marching Band is on the field. They received a total of 2 excellent ratings and 6 superior ratings at the Lake Hartwell Marching Festival and the Midland Valley Mustang Classic Band Competition in 2005. Let's listen to the 55 band members led by band director Jasper Dukes. Lincoln County Red Devil Pride Marching Band. Let's go downstairs to John O'Brien. John.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Jasper Dukes, the Lincoln County Band Director. And Jasper, you just performed. Talk about your awards for this year.
Okay, well, we participated with two one festival and a competition. Competition, we got Best Drum Major, Best Drum Line, and excellent rating. The festival we participated in, we received all superior rating and an excellent drum line. So we were very proud of the students and their accomplishments.
And how long have you been the band director at Lincoln?
This is my 4th year at Lincoln County.
And how do you guys prepare for a game? Do you guys have any rituals or any funny things you do before coming out on the field?
I usually kind of get on to the kids, get them laughing, you know. They always say, get them hype or whatever. But it usually works. They usually do a pretty good job once they get their mind on what they're here to do.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. Hey, back to you guys upstairs.
All right, thanks, John. We're going to take a timeout here at the Georgia Dome. It's halftime. Lincoln County leads at 29-14 over Johnson County. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. It's halftime. Lincoln County leads Johnson County 29-14. You are looking at the Marching Trojans, directed by band director Roger Etheridge, drum major Angelica Holland. The band members total 37. Their performance is the 70s Show. the marching Trojans. Let's go downstairs to John O'Brien. John.
Hey guys, I'm here with Roger Etheridge, the band director for the Johnson County. And Roger, first time at the Georgia Dome for your kids. How's it feel?
Yes, it's the first time in school history that we've been here. It feels great. These kids are excited, and I am too.
How do you guys prepare for an event like this?
No, this week we pretty much left everything just like always. We didn't want to jinx anything because everything's worked so far this year for us. So we just kept everything the same.
And what about your competitions this year? How have they been?
This year we went to competition. We made excellence all our competition. My band's mostly 7th and 8th graders. Last year we were 20 kids. This year we're at 40. So I got 20 beginners. Half the band is beginners basically.
Well, thank you. It was a very entertaining performance, and good luck in the second half.
Well, thank you very much. Go Trojans.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. So a great job by both bands here at the half. Lincoln County leading at 29-14, DJ Jones, in a great football game. Here are the highlights from the first half. And Lincoln County gets underway first. Brandon Barton, this quick pass to Alex Bradford.
Great job of standing up and starting to strike in there to get the ball in for the first score tonight.
Johnson County came right back, though. Cordell Johnson, the quarterback, there you see him, to Brad Jefferson on this play.
And he just got the ball into the hands of the playmaker, and he outran the defense all the way down the sidelines to the end zone.
Big play for Johnson County, and they came right back. Cordell Johnson on this play in the shotgun finds B.J. Murray off the tip.
Dodged the bullet there. Daryl Norman should have had the pick, but again, B.J. getting great concentration and getting a good score.
Lincoln County down by 7, but not for long. Here's Shontavious Jennings.
Taking the little belly play up inside for Brandon, and of course racing right down the middle of the field.
Then Barton back, looks, finds, has Norman, touchdown.
You know, for a guy that doesn't throw a lot, he looked awfully good on that play.
And then finally it's Barton sneaking in.
Just pure athleticism and strength to get it in the end zone.
And so it's 29-14 Lincoln County. Let's go downstairs to John O'Brien. John?
Hey, Coach. Hey, guys, I'm down here with Coach Bonds. Coach, down 15, but hey, this is a high-scoring game, and you have a dangerous offense. What did you tell your kids at halftime?
Well, we just we get the ball, fortunately, in the second half, start off, and we just need to. We got plenty of time. 24 minutes is a lot of time, and our kids have got a lot of character, and we've been in this position before, so it's not an unfamiliar thing. We've got to play a little bit better on defense. Lincoln County sure can run that football, and we just got to tighten up a little bit. But our kids are giving a lot of effort, and we just got to play a little bit better.
Okay. And good luck, Coach. Have a great half. Thanks.
All right,
back to you guys.
Thank you, John. The second half kickoff coming up between Lincoln County and Johnson County. Red Devils lead at 29-14. Big crowd here at the Georgia Dome. Lincoln County leads at 29-14 at the half. Let's take a look at the first half statistics on both teams for the Red Devils and, of course, for the Trojans. And this has been a big first half for both teams. Look at those rushing yards, DJ.
And it jumps right out at you. Of course, a great job there. Of course, by running back by committee. 4 or 5 running backs there, all contributing to 239 yards to, of course, actually 202 yards of rushing, 239 yards total. But a great side of passing on the side of Johnson County. Great job as far as 126 yards there, led by Cordell Johnson.
And Ronte Norman having a big game for Lincoln County. 4 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown, and that man has to be happy.
He does, of course. This guy's a winner. I mean, that's all he knows is winning, and again, regardless of what you say, it might be old cliche. This guy has been down that road before, and he just expects to win.
Ronte Norman set to kick it off for Lincoln County, now going right to left on our screen. And back deep to receive is B.J. Murray. This ball is actually taken up front at the 17-yard line. And this is number 32. Look at him go, Harvey Harris. And Harris is going to go the distance. Touchdown, Harvey Harris for Johnson County.
What a play by the sophomore, but that's what you have to do to get yourself right back into this game. We were worried about, obviously, if Lincoln County was going to be back scoring again, but Johnson County, with a great return here by Harris, puts them right back in the ballgame.
And so now Johnson County gets ready to kick off to Lincoln County. And if that's a sign of things to come.
Well, they've been pooch kicking it all day, so we know that they're not going to kick it back deep to the dangerous deep threats.
And here's another look at the run by Harvey.
Nothing spectacular, just a great effort there. And again, just running to daylight. And you know what? If you notice, most of the return kicks always end up with the return man either dropping the ball, stopping, and breaking down the concentration of the cover guys. That's usually what happens when you see a return guy drop the ball on the ground.
Okay, Spencer Hartley to kick off, and looks like we're going to see another one of those kicks that you've been talking about, DJ.
The old pooch kick.
There's Harvey Harris, an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Something to talk about for the sophomore over the next couple of years. And here's his kick, and it's fielded at the 44. Fair catch is called by Tony Wells, the offensive lineman. He also plays defensive line for Lincoln County. And there's Harris, and he deserves a little break after that one.
He does.
There's Barden's numbers so far, 3 of 5 for 37 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's also scored 1 on the ground. Good game for Brandon Barden as they set up now at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Lincoln County. Man in motion is Norman. Handoff up the middle is to Shontavious Jennings, and Jennings crosses midfield and gets to about the 49-yard line of Johnson County.
When you talk about the 202 yards rushing that Lincoln County had in the first half, that belly play up inside to Shontavious Jennings accounted for about 48, 50 yards of that in the early going. So they're going to keep to their game here, running it up inside until Johnson County is able to stop them.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 4 at the Johnson County 49-yard line. Barden, your quarterback. Norman takes the pitch. He was the man in motion. 45 gets down to about the 40-yard line, and that's a 1st down for Lincoln County.
You know, every now and then you see a running back when he takes a toss sweep and it makes you hold your breath. But you know, Daryl Norman does a great job. He's so elusive and he has such great body control that, you know, when they on that toss from Barden, you're almost holding your breath because it looked like he was going to take it the distance.
So a 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for Lincoln County. They're on the move. What did you say earlier about the team with the ball last?
Yes, that's what it's looking like, huh?
Barden, inside handoff, fumble, and Johnson County has it. Justin Lindsay, number 61, picked up the loose ball. There he is.
Let's take a look at it. There's somewhat of a cross buck play there. Changed direction. They got kind of tied up in there. Really, really sloppy there. And the ball's on the ground, and Johnson County gets it right back.
It's Daryl Norman who got the handoff. Actually bumped into his own man, number 63, Robert Biles. And the ball became loose, and Johnson County has it. So they have it 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Cordell Johnson, your quarterback. And a double reverse here. Look at this. B.J. Murray around left side. And there's a flag on the play as Murray is knocked out of bounds.
Coach Bonds keeping excitement in the game here, starting off with the reverse, double reverse.
Got that trickery going.
Yes.
B.J. Murray, by the way, only 5'7", 160 pounds.
But boy, is he quick. Now, keep that double reverse in the back of your mind now, because there is another element off of that, is the pass.
And there you see it. But it was a hold. Number 51,
Holding.
Johnson County. There you saw it.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
And 51 is Jeremy Martin for Johnson County.
Speaking of Jeremy, he might be the only Division I prospect on the field today.
So they're backed up to their own 28-yard line. 1st and 21 for Johnson County, and the handoff to Kelvis Whitley. And Whitley is stopped cold immediately by a very tough Lincoln County defense.
Let me make myself clear on that. Jeremy Martin is the only Division I prospect on the field. However, I think that from what I've seen today, there should be more, especially with those elusive backs that are playing on both sides of the ball.
2nd and 20 at the 29-yard line for Johnson County. Johnson, handoff, left side, Kelvis Whitley. Whitley looks to turn the corner, gets to the 40, and knocked out about the 42-yard line. Good run by Kelvis Whitley.
It's going to be real important. I know that Coach Bond said that 7 of his kids don't even come off the field. Now here it is, into the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. How much of a factor would that fatigue element come into play with Johnson County?
That could be a big key as we get into the fourth quarter. Red Devil fans, so far happy about this one. Folks from Lincolnton making the trip to downtown Atlanta on this big holiday weekend. 3rd and 5 at the 42. Johnson rolls right, looks downfield, has a man, fires, and just out of the stretched arms of Brad Jefferson. Jefferson tried to dive for it, but it was just thrown too far downfield.
Brad Jefferson did an excellent job coming out of the backfield. As you take a look there, releasing right down the seams there. Nobody was on him, just overthrown there by the quarterback. No, Johnson would love to have that one back.
So that brings up a 4th and 5, and Johnson County will punt it away. Spencer Hartley to do the punting duties. Ronte Norman back deep for Lincoln County. He wears number 9. There's the punt by Hartley, just gets it away. Norman from his own 22 to the 25-30. Norman 35-40 and gets to about the 42-yard line. Great return by Norman. And special teams stop led by number 54, Philip Whitley.
Tell you what, just really impressed with the explosiveness of these skilled position players from Lincoln County. I tell you, just all these Norman guys, no, they're not related from everything I understand now, but these guys are all explosive.
Well, the Norman trio is definitely having a good time today. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line for Lincoln County. Here's Darrell Norman on the inside handoff, and Norman crosses midfield and gets to the Johnson County 46-yard line, stopped by number 51, Jeremy Martin.
Take a look at this play here, and there's another one of these runs here. Check out this misdirection. Giving the ball back to Darrell Norman. Look at the body control, and look at how he's able to handle himself in space. Big guard out there, number 63, doing a great job as well. Robert Bowles.
And another 1st and 10 for Lincoln County, now at the 46-yard line of Johnson County. Man in motion in the backfield, then handoff to Tyler Beal, number 3, the junior. Tyler, 5'9", 195. Again, small, but has a lot of speed.
Absolutely. And that seems to be, the gist of today. A lot of small, quick, skill guys in this game. And, that might have something to do with maybe not many big schools are looking at these kids, but these guys are really impressive.
Rictavius Prosser made the stop on defense for Johnson County. There you see Brandon Barden, the quarterback for Lincoln County. 2nd and 7. And the handoff to Norman, and he's in big-time trouble. That's Ricardo Norman, number 8, stopped by number 53, McCarlis King for Johnson County.
Take another look at that. Great effort here by McCarlis King, deciding that he's going to make a play right now to help his team. And you can see that great play up inside by King.
There you see his numbers on the season. Big season for McCarlis King, leading the defense for the Trojans. 3rd and 10 for Lincoln County at the 46-yard line. Barton, 3-step drop, fires left side, has a man. That is Darrell Norman. And Norman gets to about the 36-yard line. It's going to be close, and looks like he might have a 1st down.
Boy, I tell you what, Norman, take a look at this. He's going to break the ankles of Kelvis Whitley here. But again, we talked about the elusiveness, and of course, watch this plant. Wow. That's big time. That is big time. When you got a guy like that that can make people miss, don't stand a chance.
And the stop on that last play by Jeremy Martin, number 51. And there you see Jeremy Martin. You were talking about Martin being a college prospect.
Absolutely. Everybody is going after this young man, but it's surprising to me that, again, he is the only according to everything that we've been told, he's the only Division I prospect playing in the game today. But I beg to differ.
And there's Barden coming off the field. Coming back on the field, I should say, for Lincoln.